Welcome to the Ask Dr. Deanna show. I'm Dr. Deanna Holdren, your host. Join me weekly as I cover various health-related lifestyle medicine topics that you get to request. This show is for anyone who wants to proactively improve their health position. I hope you enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in today on the Ask Dr. Deanna podcast. I'm excited to be with you guys again. We've been in the middle of our Optimal Health series, and today is week 5. I've had a lot of great input from the Optimal Health series and hope to bring more series like this, just short clips that kind of cover a topic and so forth in the near future as well, because it has been very well received. So today, we're just going to recap a little bit. And basically in week 1 of the Optimal Health series, we talked about sick care versus health care. We talked about why we are in the position that we are in today as a society in terms of healthcare, from a healthcare standpoint, and what we can do to reverse course. You know, so many times in life when you realize that you are a little bit off course, if you make a correction, then you stay on course. But if you don't make that correction and then you have another degree off course, and then another degree off course, and another, before you know it, you are way off course and you have no idea where you are or how to find your way back. And it's sort of the same thing with health. You know, we fall off the wagon and we stay off the wagon a little bit too long, and then we just keep going, and it's accumulative. And then we kind of wake up one day and go, how did this happen? Why do I feel this way? And how can I find my way back? Which is really what Optimal Health series was about. It's about a reset and how to find your way back to health, really. So we also talked about healthy goals that would help in terms of sustainable, healthy living. So that was in the first episode, the first week. In week 2 of the Optimal Health series, we talked about nutrition and how to use nutrition as your most powerful tool, avoiding foods that have genetically modified ingredients, GMOs, avoiding artificial ingredients, all of the things that I lump into the Frankenfood category, which is typically anything out of a box, a bag, or a drive-through window. And we talked about, food as a tool in terms of fueling the body, nourishing the body, giving the body what it needs so that it can function at optimal levels, so that you have the energy to power you through your day, so that you have the cognitive abilities to stay focused while you are at work, and just so that you can live a vibrant, healthy, active life. We talked about foods that promoted basically an anti-inflammatory type of lifestyle. Inflammation is something that is really at the core of almost every single disease. If you look at whether it is asthma, coronary artery disease, arthritis, even cancer, there's an inflammatory component at the core of all of those diseases. And so by using food or nutrition as a tool, your most powerful tool, you can have an absolute impact on your health and, on the future of your health as well. In week 3, we went into the physical side of health, covering topics like diabetes, insulin resistance, hypertension, intermittent fasting, and weight management, as well as autoimmunity. We talked a lot about the gut and the fact that the microbiome is so important. I think the microbiome might just be the hottest topic of the year from a healthcare standpoint, because more and more research is coming out talking about the importance of the microbiome, the importance of a healthy gut, and how absolutely critical it is that we get this, that we get our gut back in check and that we get things moving in the right direction. And in that session, we talk a little bit about the artificial ingredients, the chemicals, the, genetically modified foods, the glyphosate that's sprayed on so many of our foods, disrupting the gut microbiome and causing major problems from the standpoint of our microbes that are in there that help us digest food and process food and get the most out of our food in terms of nutrients. So it disrupts that, but also causes a tremendous amount of inflammation, and directs us toward autoimmunity. So in my practice, I see a tremendous number of patients with autoimmune diseases, and a lot of it has to do with gut. Just recently, this week, in fact, in my practice, I said, I think that we could almost just basically cover, rheumatology, mental health, anxiety, depression, and diabetes, and that would be like the bulk of our practice in terms of helping people get healthy and reach their goals, because we see so much of that. And all of those things, really, so many of them are a product of what we're eating, of what we're putting in our bodies. So you'll want to go back and listen to week 3 for sure. In week 4 of the Optimal Health series, we covered the emotional side of health, the anxiety, the depression, and specifically how to tackle those things, how nutrition plays a role, and oftentimes how these conditions can, be affected by genetics as well. And just, some little, hacks, if you will, things that I found in my practice that have worked so well for helping people manage anxiety, helping people manage depression, checking vitamin D levels, checking B12 levels, checking for certain genetic issues that basically would make a person predisposed to some anxiety and depression. Doesn't mean they're going to get it, especially if they're eating a healthy diet, especially if they're avoiding all those chemicals, then chances are, they'll do really, really well. But they can make a difference, and can feel healthy, can feel well, can live this vibrant life just simply by focusing on those foods that they're eating, giving their body what it needs so that it can function at optimal levels. And then today, in our final episode of week 5, so you've learned a lot at this point as we've gone through the 4 weeks. But in the final week, what I would like to tackle is something I call sustainability. And sustainability is something that I think about a lot. I think about it in terms of just day-to-day living, the things that we're doing, the things that we're doing with our children, the things that we're doing in society, the things that we eat, the things that we drink, all of that, how sustainable is this? And, basically taking this healthy lifestyle that you've, spent some time, hopefully over the last, 4 weeks, you've implemented some of the things that we've talked about. Maybe you've started some intermittent fasting. You've reduced carbs, you've eliminated sugar and grains and eliminated the, processed foods or all the snacking. And, hopefully you are feeling better. Hopefully you've got more energy. Maybe you've seen some weight loss. Maybe you feel like you're focusing better at work and you're just overall getting a better result. Well, that's exciting. And that's really what excites me most about medicine, about functional medicine, is just the ability to help people live their best life through health and wellness. And so how do we make this sustainable? Well, first of all, none of us are going to be perfect. Okay. We all, live this life, and there are times that we celebrate. There are times that we do fall off the wagon. But just like I said, with that course correction, it's so important. You fall off the wagon for one meal. You went to your nephew's birthday party and you had a piece of cake. Okay. So what? Get back on immediately. Maybe you don't have a big dinner that night. Maybe you just opt for a really healthy protein shake or an awesome salad, something like that, but you get back on immediately. That is an example of a 1-degree course correction. It's a problem when we go, oh, I messed up today, so I'm just going to continue, on that path of messing up, and I'm going to eat whatever I want the rest of the night. And before you know it, you've consumed a massive number of carbs. And then the next day you can barely drag yourself to work because you feel so tired, so exhausted from the carb frenzy that you were in. The sugar, the grains, all of that. And so what do? You have some coffee, and that doesn't do the trick. And so eventually you go to sugar, you go to more sugar, more carbs, and you enter into this cycle. Okay. And now you're another 5 degrees off course. And before you know it, at the end of the week, you're 30 degrees off course. It's really, really hard. Okay. It's getting harder and harder to find your way back to your true north. Okay. Which is where you're eating, a nutrient dense, clean, whole food diet that is serving your body, that is fueling your body, giving your body exactly what it needs. And that diet is sustainable. Okay. We can sustain this. Sometimes I tell people, to just do basically what I call an 80-20 rule. Okay. So the 80-20 rule is, yeah, I've got this down, and 80% of the time I am going to follow this plan. 20% of the time, I may get off. Some people do 90-10 as well. I have a dear uncle, and aunt, and they are, in their 60s, retired lifestyle. They are living life to the fullest. I mean, they are always out west. They're hiking. They're doing so many things. They're so active. They're the most active 60 somethings, couple that I know. And they have this plan. Okay. It's their nutrition. It's what they eat. It's how they fuel their body through the week. And then for them, they have one day a week. Okay. And it's actually just one meal a week that ends up being sort of a cheat meal. Okay. So that would be more like a 90-10, and it is serving them. Let me tell you, they were the only people at one point in time who hiked down into the 9 hours into the Grand Canyon. The only people over 60, I should say, who hiked 9 hours down into the Grand Canyon in the sun, in the heat, and then 9 hours back out. Again, their diet, their lifestyle is serving them, and it makes such a difference. So that's the sustainability. So again, if you get off track, just get right back on the very next meal. Don't wait until tomorrow. Make a difference today. Make today count. Every single little thing we do makes a difference. So make today count for that. And basically, I think that sustainability becomes a mindset. It is, this is just how I live my life. This is what I do. And yes, I'm going to live life to the fullest. I might have a taste of this, a bite of that, whatever, but I am back on my program immediately. Another thing that can help you is to join a healthy community. There are so many healthy communities out there in social world, and in person, whether it's, live at your gym, or, a group, again, that's on social media type of thing. But basically, some of these communities with like-minded people who want to be healthy, who want to live a vibrant life, who want to stay active. They want to continue to flourish in life to the very end. Well, guess what? Those people are out there. And if you can't find them, or you want to find them, just message me on deannaholden.com or on our Instagram page. Message me, and I will direct you to where these communities are, because there are so many people who have embraced this style of living. Okay. They don't want a pill for everything. They would rather use lifestyle medicine, functional medicine, to correct their pre-diabetes, to correct their type 2 diabetes, to lower their blood pressure, to lower their cholesterol, to be able to offset any arthritis that's forming, and just to be able to stay active, to keep moving, and to live this incredibly vibrant life. So as you are, again, going through the 5-week series, I want you to just keep in mind that this program is doable. It is a doable program that basically will support your body, that will give your body what it needs, will help you stay focused, will help from a cognitive standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, and of course, from a physical standpoint. It will help you reach your goals as well, whether, you need to lose weight, or whether, your weight's perfect and you just want to fuel your body properly. The 5-week series will help you with that. So with that, you guys, I'm really excited about some of the next topics that we have coming up in the next few weeks. I've decided to do a little podcast session. We'll go back to some of our shorter sessions for this. So there'll be the quick, 10, 12 minute, informational type of thing that you can listen to in the car that are super easy. And basically, I'm going to cover one on fatigue. We'll talk a little bit about adrenals. We'll talk about thyroid, some of the reasons people are feeling fatigued. This is one of the most common complaints that I get for patients coming into my office. It's, I just feel so tired. I can't make it through my day. And many, many times it is what we're eating. Okay. So start there with that 5-week series and see if that fixes your fatigue. But we're going to cover some other things in addition to nutrition, like hormones, nutrition, or like hormones, thyroid, adrenals, all of those things. I'm also going to do a podcast on hair loss. This is another common issue, especially amongst women. We've got a lot of women coming in, especially post-COVID, with hair loss, and then also going to do one on COVID. Okay. Some of the things that I've recommended, I've been able to help a tremendous number of patients get through COVID and get through COVID successfully. And so I'm excited to share some of the things that I've recommended, that I've told my patients about, that they've used for those results. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thank you for plugging into the Optimal Health series. Be sure to share it with other people. If you've liked the content, we love to hear from you. Send me a message, visit deannaholdren.com. And if there are other things that you would like to hear more information about, etc., certainly, submit that to us as well. So thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that episode. For more information, visit me at deannaholdren.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dr. Deanna Holdren. I really want to hear from you, so message me. I love taking your messages and creating topics from them. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share my show with those who have an interest in health and wellness. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week.